Hello, and welcome to Making Sense of It. I'm Mona Duncan, your moderator, and today we will be looking at having a panel discussion, asking those that are with us. And let me pull up the screen right here that says panel discussion. And here is the discussion that I'd like you to, kind of get yay and nays, and maybe so's, and so forth. Choice theory teaches that we choose all we do, and we are responsible for the choices that we make. So then here's just three questions. Does this mean that we choose both our happiness and our misery? And are those choices deliberate, or are they by chance? They take us by surprise? And if by chance, what are or what is the mitigating factors? So, comments? We choose all that we do, and therefore we are responsible for the outcome, for the choices that we've made. So, what are your thoughts?
Well, what if we have an accident? We fall and we didn't choose that misery. I mean, it's humorous in a way, but then it happens a lot, especially to people that are in my age, my age cohort. So, but then I guess, as you would have said in my mother's generation, well, you make the best of it, so
Right.
Yeah.
to
And going back to the accident,
getting
I
help
like
and getting, or do you just lay there and complain,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Alice, I really like what you said about your mother's comment, make the best of it, because she was right on to a choice theory. You may have not chosen to fall. That was an accident, something, unless you had been careless and not taking care of things, but you can choose how you handle yourself after the fall. That's where I think the big choice comes in, is what do we do with what happens to us? And your mother was saying, get on that front wheel, think positively and do what you need to do, type thing. So, yeah.
Right.
And then too, looking at the fact that, there are no accidents as such. It's that accident or whatever had happened because there were mitigating factors that led to it happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it's and if we as an individual have, tickets and accidents and tickets and accidents, it's time to wake up and say, hey, wait a minute. Maybe we know where the locus of control is.
Well,
maybe I'm driving too fast.
Yeah.
Maybe walking too fast with too many things in my hands.
or as we get older, if you have some accidents and maybe you just hang up your car keys. I mean, that's
right. Time to give up the car. Yeah.
And does this mean that we choose both our happiness and our misery? Which you kind of already said that, in that your mom would say, make the best of it, which is excellent advice.
Well, she had a choice in her life, I guess. Maybe she didn't look at it as a choice, but my father was very old-fashioned, brought up in Europe, and the husband ruled the roost, and so he was the rooster.
That's good.
And she was the hen, and you know, he would order her around. And especially after he retired, he was there more often. And one time I said, Daddy, why don't you get up and get whatever you want instead of ordering Mom to get it? And he said, she likes it. And it was quite possible that she, you know, she did like that. I mean, she wanted to make him happy. So, and she did. That was her goal, I think, in life is to make her husband happy. And knowing what he went through in his life in Europe, um, knowing that his mom died when he was 8, his father remarried, went to another town, and he was brought up by his brothers and sisters. She knew that he had a hard life. So, oh, what
That's
happened?
neat. That's very touching.
Mhm. Yeah. A wise person said to me one time, a relation cannot always be seen from the outside. It's what's the two people agree to that works for them. You know, so something like that from the outside might not have looked really good, but for the two of them, that worked and they were happy with it, you know, so needing more information, as Dr. Glasser says sometimes.
Yeah.
Right. And the question on here is what are the mitigating factors? And you're already talking about them. Is that we can see things differently and the perceptions, and there's no one,
Yeah.
2, 3, ABC
Right.
demands.
Dave, I was thinking, I was thinking, well, I'm 77, first year baby boomer, 1946, and my parents, I'm only child, so I was spoiled, I guess. But anyway, they didn't probably know about Dr. Glasser's caring habits, but they knew about Dr. Glasser's lethal habits. Maybe the father did, boarding around. But I was going to take a proposal anyway, submit one to Mona in a week or so. But on listen to Dr. Glasser as a school counselor session with a high school student implementing choice theory. And one is I'm Dr. Glasser, and I have a student with me, a young man or a young woman, but let's just say a young man, an 11th grader. And we are facing each other, good eye contact. And I'm going to, John, I'm going to ask you some questions. All you have to do is orderly give your thoughts on this or your suggestion. Not so great choice scale. 1, I did not think it through. Is that very true? True, somewhat true, or not true? On a scale, the Likert scale, 4, 3, 2, 1. I acted on the spur of the moment. I wanted to fit in with my friends. I wanted to defy my parents. I did not consider the consequences of my actions. Well, I have a list of 32 there. And there's also the not so great choice scale. And then it's based on critical thinking, impulsive behavior, peer pressure, and independence status. And we score those up on each question. Then there's the negative risk-taking scale, such as act in ways you know you shouldn't. Be a bystander when someone is being bullied. Break laws. Bully others. Cheat. Develop eating habits that lead to disorders. Disrespect others. Drink alcohol. Drop out of school. Engage in intimate relationships before you're ready. Harm an animal. Have unprotected sex. Hurt any person verbally or physically. Join a questionable group of people, gang, or group affiliations. Lie, smoke, use drugs, vandalize, and then go through the scale, go through the scale, and go through the scale. It is just excellent, one-on-one. I did that a few times at the library that we have as I'm a child advocate. And mom and dad were out there. Then we had a meeting together, but I was one-on-one. And it's a see-through door and everything, so, you know, they couldn't eavesdrop. Excellent.
So what kind of a transformation was?
Well, yeah, then I had a meeting at school with the school counselor. To see, a school psychologist, they're testing and IEPs and stuff like that, and they don't do school counseling much at all. But the behavior intervention specialist or school counselor. So when I had the meetings a few times, transformation, those students and even the parents said, what, and so-called independent study at home, not homework, went over that, and they were able to make more positive choices. They were able to be critical thinkers a little bit better. Just because this group affiliation, what do we have? We have our jocks, and we have our brains, and we have our, I knew most of my students what group they were affiliated with. Because your behavior alone is much different than your behavior in a group. Violence, what do you do? You know, same thing. And then yesterday we had at my alma mater, Kent State University, Kyle Rittenhouse speaker. Maybe about 100 attended inside with his speech, and a few hundred outside the building at Kent State University signs a protest. Peaceful, charity, well done. It wasn't a May 4th, 1970 incident.
What were they
I'm an alumni.
protesting at?
1968.
Ask it
What was-
again, Alice.
What were they protesting at Penn State? My son is a alum of Penn State.
Well, yeah, I'm 1968 alum. They were protesting Kyle Rittenhouse. That's the Black Lives Matter, a kid who killed 2 people with his assault rifle.
Yeah.
So if you can look up ksu.edu and then you can get all the information there and the video. But that's the basic, and maybe it's in some of your local papers also, the New York Times,
Okay.
as well as our local Cleveland Plain Dealer and our local papers. But you know, right in my backyard here, basically.
Right.
So again, and I think, you know, well, very fortunate. I've never been attacked, beaten, abused. My parents, my mother and father are just, wow. That made me a better parent and teacher also, I think. With 2 daughters, 50 and 47, and 3 grandchildren, 8, 10, and 12.
Okay, so here's the discussion. Choice theory teaches that we choose all that we do, and we are responsible for the choices we make. So does this mean that we choose both happiness and unhappiness, success and non-success, failure? Are those choices deliberate, or are they by chance, by not looking ahead? And if they're by chance, or even if they're deliberate, what are the mitigating factors that can help you to see, ooh, I've messed up here?
Yeah, Dr. Glasser's best question, I think. Whose behavior can you control? Who is responsible for your behavior? I said that a million times to my students. It
Well,
works.
I think the question about what are the mediating factors, I think, is really important.
Yeah, true.
So like, what are the factors that are, helping a particular behavior to be chosen. And could it be? I mean, sometimes it's as simple as the weather. You know, the weather is lousy. I'm choosing to just stay home. I'm choosing not to go to the party. I'm choosing to call in sick.
Right.
You know,
A
but
perception, the event, yeah, of the environment. Gee, you know what? I just don't feel like going to school today. I'm going to take a mental health day off, a personal day or whatever, because we have a couple assemblies and. Mr. Hancock, don't get that substitute ever again. I'll go, oh yeah, boss. Yeah, it's the environment, our perception of the environment. It's just, you know what? I just don't want to do that today or tomorrow. I don't want to, the event. I choose not to attend that wedding, that party, that situation, that luncheon with a couple people that are going to be there I don't like.
well, except no, see, I think we're when Mona's asking the mediating factors, like, so what are the factors? Like, I would go to the party, I would go to work, I would go to the store, I would do this, that, or the other thing, but the weather is not in my favor. The weather is something I don't want to contend with to do that. Right? So
Or traffic.
there's the scales of weather. So for those of us who live in snowy areas, you know, sometimes it's an
I
issue
avoid
of,
traffic.
well, what are the mediating factors? Sometimes the government says, no, sorry, stay home. You know, we'll give you a ticket
Yeah.
if you go. Like, it just keep your right, you know, stay home. I see you talking. Sharon, you're muted, honey.
Or the day of
Yeah.
the week, a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it better go in places than a Friday or Saturday, or time of day of traffic. I avoid certain highways, freeways at 4:30, 5:30.
So those are the mediating factors that are contributing
Yeah.
to May. You know,
To
now,
make a if you can make that choice, yeah.
but then it's like, okay, am I miserable because I'm staying home and I don't want to be home? I want to be at the party. I don't want to be home. I want to get the stuff that I needed at the store. You know, I
Right.
made the decision, but I'm choosing misery because I can't do it on the schedule that I wanted to do it on.
Okay.
Right. Or being alone
So Sue,
is
could
better
you?
than being with bad company.
Mhm.
I think
Right.
George Washington.
Let Sharon talk, please.
Okay, I'm thinking what we're all talking about is our quality world pictures, and we're not meeting them like that. So we have a decision. Are we going to be miserable because we aren't meeting those, or are we going to make the best, as Alice's mom would say, of the situation and go on and be content because we have evaluated two different things, whether to go or the things that caused us not to go, just stay with that same scenario. And then what do we decide is based upon how tilted our scales are and how good we are at reassimilating and rebalancing our scales, no matter what the information is, you know.
Mhm.
You know, that
And making the best of what is not excellent at that time.
exactly. Yeah, right. You know,
I wonder to what extent there's also a scale, like, I think Dr. Glasser's gone to the far ends, you know, of happiness and misery. Could we look at it also? Might we also see that, okay, I'm not happy, but I'm as satisfied as I can be right now.
exactly.
Miserable, but dissatisfied with where I am
Right.
right now.
This is not what I want, but this is what I'm dealing with, and I will be okay with it because misery hurts my health, makes me feel tense, all of those things. And I don't want that. I value better feelings more than I do not tolerating the change.
Well, I think as we've gotten older, we've gotten possibly more mature, that we might possibly accept things a little not quite at our Collywell picture, you know, so we're not, again, we're not happy, we're just satisfied with it, not as satisfied as we might be, but we're satisfied with it. I don't know if that gets at all at what we're trying to do.
So are you saying experience can regulate how we look at things?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've been through this before, we've had this type of disappointment before. We know in the end, it all came out okay, but right now it's not happening the way I wanted. But I know I can just deal with this now and then,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's experience, I think, for us.
Well, okay, like, and it's, I'll talk about, you know, the knee recovery. That's taking me longer than I had ever thought it would take. But the idea being is that although Medicare and Blue Cross Blue Shield, they've all said, no, you're clinically plateaued. It's interesting because the orthopedic I work with, nah, you're not done yet, you know, and he keeps looking for other things for me to do. So, okay, we're going to go to pain management now and see what the pain management guy can do to help me. And I mean, I was clarifying, like, okay, we're going to do this stuff, but the intent is to get the knee to cooperate more, you know, like, can I walk without a limb? Like, can I get up and down the stairs? Can I actually get all the way around on the bicycle? You know, and it's like, yes, we're hoping you'll have less pain, more comfort. Okay, great. But I'm not going to get to where, like, I mean, my quality world picture is to be able to lift enough to be able to get on a boat. And I know I can't do that at the present state I'm in. But I didn't give up either, but I can afford to do it. I've hired somebody to come and stretch me, which I can't get the stretch that he can get on my own. Like, and I know I can't. And just interesting. So, like, what are all the other behaviors to get to that quality world picture, which I would guess is not being satisfied with the unhappiness, with the misery of it, with the, you know, but where and how can you push further? I don't know if that says it. I mean, it's real interesting because like, I know there's times of the day where I will go up the stairs like a normal person. But then there's times of the day where I don't, because I'm in more of a hurry. So then going one step at a time is much easier. And the same thing for coming down. You know, for me to get down the stairs like a normal person takes way longer than if I just went down one step at a time. So it's choices, but it's also,
is. And one of the questions is are those choices deliberate or by chance? And so I'm hearing that it can be both. As in, one doctor says you're done, the other one says, oh, there's still more to do. And you're the one that's making the choice.
well, no, actually, it's the insurance company saying you're done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's the insurance companies, and that's what I'm finding interesting. The doctor's saying, you're not done yet. We're gonna keep playing with this
Oh, okay.
in different ways. So he's come up with a number of different things that he doesn't do, but other people do.
Okay,
Let's
so then
try
that goes
this
down
right.
to the
try
mitigating
this.
factor, which is the insurance company.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so it's not the most comfortable to be stretched and the most comfortable to do your exercises, but you're willing to put up with that pain, discomfort, because it will take you to a better place. You'll be more active and your knee will be more limber, you know, so we, you know, we do choose those things because we see the outcome as being better.
Which is actually interesting. So here's the mitigating circumstances of a broken knee. That's the mitigating circumstances, and I'm choosing unhappiness because I'm miserable.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely miserable. When I'm doing
that
exercise.
unhappiness has gone to misery.
Yeah, it really, you know, it's like, oh, okay. It is, it's not comfortable. It's not a happy place to be.
Yeah.
But yet the other day, the physical therapist tried something and I got all the way around on the bike and I was ecstatic. Oh my God. I was like, woohoo! I was all over that. I can't do it again. But at that point I was, and I was like, whoa, it was the first time. Like it was the first time. So first time in way over 6 months. So like, yay. But
So
so
it all became worth it then at that moment.
it did. But I think it is an issue of, so are you choosing misery? In this case, I am choosing misery.
Mhm.
Like I'm much happier just hanging around. You know? I'm miserable doing all these exercises. Just miserable.
Okay, Steve, do you have something to share?
Hang on a second. No, thank you. No, I just
Oh,
got a reminder and thought I'd tune in and see who was here talking. How are you, Mona?
Very good, very good, very good. Well, we will close out for the taping of Making Sense of It, and thank each of you for your comments, and then we'll have private discussions. So many blessings, and we'll stop the recording.